All right, good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 268. And woke up this morning at the hotel. I didn't realize the store opened here. This guy just walked right in. Woke up this morning, had a good sleep last night, fresh and ready to go, and did some stuff online first, and then decided to come downstairs and see what I could do at the casino. As always, didn't find anything on the slots, but did find one blackjack table that was playable, only one, and sat down there, bought in for $500, and just had a small spread, 1 to 6. There was only me and the dealer and the pit boss, who did not smile. She did not want to smile, no matter what. Crack jokes, talk, nope, won't talk to you, won't smile, nothing. Even asked me my name, but of course, that's not going to help her. I don't know what she was looking up, but with a small spread like that, it shouldn't even matter. But I was there for about 35, 40 minutes, something like that, with the goal of just trying to double up, and immediately started losing and was stuck in negative territory for about 20 minutes or so, and then got back to even, and then it was like shoe after shoe of breaking even. They actually have good pen, depending on the dealer, and this morning we had good pen, but just she was flying through the shoes, but just weren't going anywhere, up a unit, down the unit, and just wasn't going anywhere. So after a while, things turned around, and I had a couple good shoes back to back, and I ended up leaving ahead exactly 500. So plus 500 on the blackjack. And a friend of the family out here called me this morning, and he's, you could say, a historian. He works for the National Park Service. He builds stuff for them. He's really big into history. And he called me this morning and he said, Joe, I've got these bills that are pre-Civil War bills, money. And I was wondering what they were worth. And I said, I'd have to take a look at them. He said, I don't have them in my hands, but I might have a list that I can get of what they are. And I said, let's get the list and let's look over it and see what we can figure out. At least we can have an idea of what they're worth. So I'm excited about what these bills are going to be and what kind of value they have, and I would love to see them and hold them. So, I love that kind of stuff too. You remember we were in Alaska, whatever that was, 3, 4, 5 months ago, and I bought that $500 bill. So that's one of my prized things that I have. So, anyway, not to get off on a tangent on money right now, because I could go for hours on that stuff. But so right now I'm going to head back to the room. We're going to get packed up. We're checking out of this hotel, and we're checking into another one of these properties, same company, in a different town. So we'll get packed up and leave, go see him, and get information about this money, and then we'll head to the house, spend the day there, and then this afternoon I'll go check in by myself and hopefully get one session of blackjack in and make a little bit of money and just keep adding and keep getting closer to our goal for the year. So that's what's happening right now. Looks like, I think it's kind of an okay day. The dealer was talking about how terrible it was outside, but considering it's the end of December, it's 49 degrees. How bad is that? How could you complain about 49 degrees at the end of December? So I'm heading back to the room. I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's see. First thing we did is start heading toward the house to be with the family. We were kind of hungry. It was a late morning, like 11 something. So we actually saw an Indian restaurant. We thought, hey, let's give it a shot. We went in there, had some food. It was good food. We were in there for about 45 minutes or so. Everything was good. And then my son was with us, and he had like a mango lassi. I think that has dairy in it, and I think it upset his stomach. So after we were done, he just wasn't feeling good, and we went out to the parking lot so we could leave, and he started to throw up. So he got all that out of his system. He felt better, and we started continuing on. And then we had a friend of ours who works for the Park Service who invited us out there to see some stuff that they had going on, and also to meet with this guy who has these old notes that look like maybe they might be real. I'm not positive, but if they are, they're from the 1700s. I'm just not sure. It's hard for me to tell. It kind of looks too good to be true, but it's possible that they're real. So talked to them for a while. We hung out there for a while. They have some really nice displays, and then we moved on. We were heading toward the house, and we got there, spent the day with the family, had lunch, kind of had dinner, like snacks and things like that, and we left for the casino. So we got here to the casino about 4 o'clock or 5, no, maybe 5:30, maybe 6, maybe 6 o'clock, and we checked in, and then I came down, looked around at some stuff, and so far, not much luck. I'm hanging around zero, slightly below, and called my wife, told her to come down so we could have some dinner. So I'm going to meet with her right now, and I'll be back with you guys. All right, guys, we're getting ready to leave here right now. Didn't really make any money here. Ended the session down $69, and we had some dinner at the Asian place, and now we're going to move on. We're going to go to another property that's in the main downtown area, so we're going to go there, see if we can do something there. I'm not very optimistic right now about tonight, but we'll see what happens. And then I'm hoping from there, if she's up to it, we'll go to another place where we have a better shot of making some real money. So that's what's going on right now. We're waiting for her, and we'll be taking off for the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So as I am back at the hotel again, we did end up going to the other place, and there was nothing there. No plays at all, and no blackjack that was worthwhile at all. So we ended up driving all the way over there for nothing. I noticed that in this general area that they've really removed a lot of the machines that we depend on. So there's a lot less opportunity, and I have to depend a lot more on blackjack. And unfortunately, this hotel and the one we just went to a little while ago both do not have good opportunities with blackjack. So with all that said, obviously we hope that we'd be in a better situation today, but that's not working out. I did make a few $100s with some of the side stuff that I've been working on, so that's good. And right now I am heading back down, gonna take another lap, and then grab some drinks and head back to the room, and I may call it a night. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. So right now the plan is take one more lap and then grab some drinks, and then we'll find out what we're gonna do after that. So I'll be back. All right, so you'll remember when I was here earlier, I lost $69. So I came down. She noticed that there was a place here that had milkshakes, and so I came down to get milkshakes, and so I took one quick lap of the casino and made 73. So got that 69 back. So plus 73, and got a couple free shakes with points I had on my card, and heading back to the room. And this is probably it for the night, but I may come down one more time before I go to sleep. So I will keep you informed. Plus 73. All right, guys, just getting up right now, and gonna head down here in a few minutes to take a lap around the casino and see what we can pick up, because we're falling a little behind again. I want to try to get at least 3 blackjack sessions in today, whether it's this afternoon, this evening, whenever. I need to get those fit in. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. It's about 9 a.m., just getting up, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. I could tell you from looking out the window that this parking lot is practically empty. There's about 20 cars outside, so we'll see what we can find out there. Hopefully nobody is in to check anything this morning yet, and we can have a chance at some money. I did make 190 this morning on my other stuff that I'm doing right now, so that's helpful. I think we're keeping pace, so I think we should be okay. Getting close to the end of the year here. What's today? The 27th already. So close, and just got to keep digging. It's just a number, obviously, but obviously you still want to make your goals for the year. So hopefully we make it, and then we can relax. Maybe take a few days off at the beginning of the year and reflect on things and plan, and we'll see what happens. So right now, walking into the casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, fellas, I'm back. What are you gonna do? Picking up pieces here and there. Really wasn't much opportunity. Things were cleaned out, and just walked around aimlessly for a long time, trying to find a play. Finally played a couple stray things here and there, and made a little bit of money, but it was pretty much dead in there. Someone had been there recently, and just, only so much that you can do with what you have. So definitely the opportunity in this area within a couple hours of where I am right now as far as slot machines is very low right now. Hopefully some new stuff will come out and there'll be more opportunity next time, but for now, not much happening. I ended my session ahead, $108, and wanted to share this morning on the news. They were talking about Trump kind of trolling Canada about being the 51st state, and now the majority of Canadians want to hear more because they know their taxes would go down so much if they became a state. Now, I don't know how it would get broken down, if it'd be one state or 5 states or whatever, but the amount of natural resources are in Canada that aren't being tapped into right now is enormous, and the amount of benefit that Canadians would have would be enormous. I just don't know how it would play out. I don't know how possible it would be. And again, with Greenland being thrown out there as a possibility also, and with retaking the Panama Canal so that the Chinese don't have control of it, and they quadrupled pricing going through it, that's another big thing. So all these things that we haven't thought about in decades or cared about, someone is actually saying, hey, let's talk about this, even if it's not serious. Kind of feel waters there and see how everybody feels about it, and maybe there's a possibility there. If not, maybe we can make money some other way. Maybe we can benefit the American people some other way with a treaty or something like that. But I like the fact that we have some fresh thinking in there. It took one of the oldest people to get into office to have the freshest, youngest thinking, which we should always be brainstorming and trying to come up with things. I'm not saying he's right or wrong, or that I agree with this stuff or not, but I think it's very interesting that the oldest president is going to end up being the one that brings out the most fresh ideas. So anyway, whatever I just said, plus 108. I'm going to grab some pastries, go back up to the room, and then we're going to head out for the day. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is now evening, and just got back to the hotel. Spent the day with the family. I actually expected to be able to get out a little bit today, but just didn't have the opportunity to do so. But spent the day there. When you're there, you're there, and you're not moving around very much, so you kind of get tired. And by the time we left, I was actually a little bit tired. I got to pep myself up a little bit here. So one of the kids wanted to come with us, so he came with us. He's staying in the room with my wife right now, and I came down to the casino, looked around at machines first, and couldn't find anything, so continued on. And they actually had a little bit of blackjack open today, so I sat down at a low limit table, expecting not to really have an opportunity to play much, but I did find a seat, and I was lucky that it was a empty table, so I sat down, bought in for a couple hundred, just keeping it low, keeping it, and it was a double deck, so I didn't want to push too hard on it, but I did have a few ups and downs there, and but ended up ahead, and after spiking down and spiking back up again, I didn't really want to bring a lot of attention, so I ended up leaving at the end of this one shoe that was very turbulent and very attention-getting shoe, and ended up leaving ahead a couple $100, 200. My low for the session was only minus 75. My low for the session was only minus 75. My high was only plus 250. But I ended up leaving ahead 200. And we're moving on. A lot of the best machines that I make the most money on, and this is like not just here, but other casinos too, that people really don't look at, they were jammed up. So four of them were full, and 3 of them were jammed up. I didn't get a chance to make any money on those, but right now I'm just getting into her vehicle, and we're gonna head out, and we're gonna see what we can get done. So from what I learned yesterday, we weren't able to play any blackjack or slots at the casino we went to last night, and then she was with me. I didn't want to drag her all over creation and have her be bored while I'm playing blackjack, so we came back to the room. But today I'm going to skip over that casino and move on to a further casino, so it's going to be a bit of a ride, but it's going to be worth it. I'd like to get at least one session of blackjack in, and then move on to another casino, get another session in there, and then come back here and take a lap. The high limit will be closed. It's only open a few hours here and there, so the high limit will be closed. But hopefully I can get some slot play in when I come back, and hopefully a lot of these people are gone by then, but you never know. We are heading home tomorrow, and actually one of our neighbors is coming to this town tomorrow as we're leaving tomorrow, so we're going to try to hook up with them wherever they are. At some point we're going to be passing each other, so we're going to see if we can figure out where that point is and get together for a few minutes and hang out, and then continue on our trip. So right now, plus 200, moving on to the next casino, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am continuing on here, still on my way to the next casino, and I was watching a YouTube video, and these people were like, let's protest by going on a data strike. Okay, alright, what's this? And basically it's, don't use your phone for 2 days on the 24th and 25th of December. Just don't use your phone. So please spread the word that you're not going to use your phone by posting it. Okay, so you're going to use your phone to say don't use your phone, to spread the word. And so I just want to thank these people who did go on this data strike. The movies that we watched, the sports that we watched, came in much clearer, no buffering, no issues, and Netflix was working really well. So I want to thank you for not using the data. I also want to thank you for paying for the data that you're not using. It's a very intelligent thing, and you really showed them. You really proved your point, and you really showed them by punishing yourself and still paying for all your services. Congratulations. So anyway, still moving on to the next casino here. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Man, it is so hot in there. Just left this casino. I actually did a YouTube live in there for about 10 minutes. I don't know how well it worked. I think it was kind of glitching because the internet was going in and out. Maybe next time I'll connect it to the Wi-Fi. I hate to do that normally, but I'm not spreading that much today anyway, so just trying to make a little bit of money here. Get our goal for the year. Darn it, so close to our goal for the year. I did just finish a bonus for a credit card, and this credit card is going to pay, right now it looks like I've got it's going to be about 270,000 points, and it's going to pay me between 60% and 100% of the value of the points, depending on how I cash it. So I think I might be able to use it for gift cards and get like a couple thousand in gift cards. I think I saw one on there that was giving like 91% for gift cards. So then I'd actually have like 91% of $2,700. So was that $200 less? So $2,500 about in cash or in a gift card. And I'll try to do one that I can convert easily or that we're going to use right away. And I'll get that put on my spreadsheet. But I'll do that in the next day or two before the 31st so that I can get it in time. Anyway, here I played double deck blackjack. I also looked at slots. The slots yielded me nothing, like less than $1. But blackjack was okay. Sit down at the first table, and things weren't going well. The dealer was doing, this guy's driving the wrong way down the street. What are you thinking, pal? Wow. The wrong way down the street. Very nice. Anyway, sit down at the first table, and the dealer introduces himself to me. It takes him about 2 minutes to cash in my 500, give me chips, and get the shoe started. I'm like, come on, let's go. I didn't want other people to get in on my shoes. I wanted to play by myself as much as possible. And first hand, I got a 20 dealer blackjack. Second hand, I got a 20 dealer 20. And I'm like, oh, well, that's the end of that shoe, because it's going to take the rest of the shoe to get anywhere close to even. We were -8 right away, or running -8 on a double deck right away. But the dealer was so slow, it was so exhausting to me. But there was only one other table that I could play, and it had people on there, like 2 or 3 people. And by the time that shoe ended, I'm like scrambling, looking around for somewhere else to play, because he was going so slow. I mean, I can play a 6-deck shoe in 6 or 7 or 8 minutes, and this guy's doing 8 minutes for a double deck shoe. It's like, give me a break. So I checked behind me, and the other people, I guess they had lost and they had left the table. So I switched over to there and sat down there. I pushed the first hand with the 20, and the second hand the dealer gets a blackjack. Fourth hand the dealer gets a blackjack. I'm like, it's going to be a long one tonight, baby, but that's okay. We're going to grind. And grind I did, and eventually I was able to get my money back and ended up leaving that session ahead $537.50. So that was beautiful. And what's even better is when I sat down at the table, I said to the dealer and the pit boss, all I want to do is get most of the money back that I lost in slots, which I didn't lose any money in slots, but I'm painting the picture of a loser, of a gambler. I said I'm down 540, and then I color up plus 537.50. I said, you know what? It's the end of the shoe, close enough, I'm getting out of here. And they're like, that's smart. Some people don't know when to quit. I'm like, okay, see you later. So plus 537.50 on the blackjack, and then I cashed out. Then I did my live stream for about 10 or 12 minutes, probably 12 minutes, and I kind of showed some different machines, and not like actual machines, but I showed some things to look for that are not playable, like all these fake things. And I explained on the stream, which I just deleted, that there's a lot of machines that look like something is going on, but you have to stop and read the rules and understand how the game works. A lot of the things that you see on the screen say for entertainment purposes only, and you think something's going on, but it's not, and you see people with their chairs turned around because they're waiting, they're going to get more money because it's so close it's going to hit soon, and then it takes another couple $100 from them, and when it finally pays out, it pays them $18, and they spent $400 chasing it. So be very careful of that stuff. All right. And by the way, if you understand what I'm talking about, and you know what you're doing, you want to ask some questions, feel free, ask me questions, and we'll work together on stuff. But I'm not in the business of just saying, do this to make money. Do some learning, look around, read the machine rules and understand how they work, watch what people are playing, and ask people questions. What does this mean? And learn how this stuff works. And then if you actually have questions, are good, intelligent questions, I'd be glad to talk to you. So anyway, moving on to this next casino, and I'll be back to update you when I get out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. A lot of action in here, a lot of people in here, busy. Tables are busy, slots are busy, but not a lot of opportunity. Unfortunately, went to the low limit area. Low limit was completely packed. Okay rules, but nowhere to sit down. Completely packed. Mostly college age kids. Nothing I really want to mess with. I don't feel like teaching and explaining and going back and forth and taking forever and high-fiving people. So walked away from that, looked at some slots. Couldn't find anything. And actually, I think I played one slot. I lost like $3 or something initially. And then I went to the high limit area, and that was completely full. There was only one empty table there, and that was a reserve table. So I don't need to mess with that. So I ended up leaving that and going around, looking at slots again. Eventually found two small plays. I think one of them made me like $14, and then the other one made me like close to 100, somewhere in there. And overall didn't end up playing any blackjack, but played some slots and ended the session ahead $109. So plus 109 on the slots. Right now, I'm gonna head, I'm thinking back to the hotel. I may do one more stop before I get there, and not really positive yet. We'll see how things go. I do need to get some fuel as well, and then we'll see where we go from there. So that's what's happening right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. It's going to be a little noisy now. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me very well. I'm going to go to the far reaches back here. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier to hear me. But came in here. I'm back at the hotel that we're staying at. And came in, looked at slot machines, went around and around and around. Because I looked in the blackjack area, and there was like no place available, and then I looked closely and it was the same dealers in the same pit as before. So I'm like, I don't want to be back with the same people again. You know, that I hit them earlier and I said I was leaving, and then, you know, hours later I'm back here again. So I ended up continuing on and just looking at slots only, and I couldn't find anything. And I went all over the place and couldn't find a play. So finally I'm like, that's it, I've had enough. I'm gonna go back to the blackjack area. I don't care what happens. So I go to the blackjack area, and the same dealer that dealt to me earlier, who was basically a break runner, but she dealt to me most of the time that I was there earlier, she was back at the table. I don't know if that was her table now or what, but she was dealing for herself, I think. And man, there you go, a little quieter. Anyway, I sit down, I buy in for 300. I'm trying to keep it discreet here and not go big. The limit is low, and I figured, let's see what happens here. Sit down. They had just started a shoe. It's a double-deck game, and the guy who was sitting there playing had 3 of his friends at the table, so it looked like the table was full, but it wasn't full. So I sit down, and he is losing like every hand. He can't win a hand. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there anyway, right? So I'm like keeping track. So I'm like, okay, it's a 5, it's a running 7, it's a running 9, it's a running 14. Running 14, he's losing everything. He gets a 10-5 against a bus card. And I'm like, it's like plus 15, right? And his friend is like, just hit it, man. You've been losing, just hit it. I'm like, oh my gosh, here he comes. He's going to lose his butt. He hits it, gets another 5 for a 20. The dealer would have had a 19 and won the hand, and ends up busting, and he ends up winning the hand. So felt happy for him. And that ended the shoe. I sit down, I start playing, and it's a little rocky at first, but things end up going well, and I end up leaving ahead. I did like 1-6. I ended up leaving ahead 350, so plus another 350, which makes me feel really good, give me a little bit more energy. I'm going to take a couple more laps, look at the machines before heading back to the room, and then we'll wrap up this episode. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I'm back, and I think the last 4 days here, although I haven't had a lot of time to play, I think I cleared between 4,700, 4,700, somewhere in that range, which is excellent. Helped get me where I need to go. I think that, along with everything else I'm doing, I am so close. I might even be there, but I'm not going to know until I get home and enter all the numbers in. Everything is so complicated right now, all the different things that I'm doing, and but I'm excited that I had a good night tonight, even though I didn't have a lot of time. Only started playing, in the evening. I had one short session this morning, and then that was like $100. And then I had a nice evening tonight, like $1,200. So that's all good. I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. This is day 4 and 5 of my trip. We're going home in the morning, so I'll probably come down tomorrow morning and see what I can do, and then I'll add that to my Sunday episode. I'm not just going to publish that little bit. So thanks everybody for listening. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.